Hello, everybody. Welcome to the an April 30th edition here of News from the Front Lines of Business. And it's hard to believe this whole month has gone by already, but here we are at the end of the month. So I guess as far as deadlines go and the kind of things we always try to make everybody aware of every week on these videos, payroll tax returns. So most of the stuff that we're dealing with has been pushed back until June, but you still want to get your payroll tax returns in because some of the state filings and some of those forms are still due today. So get them in if you haven't already done so. But some developments that we've seen here. So we've been kind of talking a lot about EIDL, targeted EIDL, employee retention credits coming up a lot, and not much is going on. I mean, it's been a lot of chatter back and forth, but nothing has really changed very much. So just to kind of recap, so we got a targeted EIDL. So what that is if you remember way back in the beginning of this process when the economic impact disaster loans were available, they were supposed to give every eligible business up to $10,000 as a forgivable grant, basically. And because of the large number of people who applied, they kind of reduced that to $1,000 per employee. And now they're going to kind of correct that on this latest revision of the EIDL, of the targeted EIDL. So they're supposed to be increasing everybody's forgivable grant portion up to the full $10,000 if they haven't received that. And but it's been crazy because they have put in a couple other stipulations that you had to be in a low income area. So a lot of people have received these emails with a link and they have clicked on it and submitted information, and we've seen a lot of declines coming back. So a lot of people who thought they were going to qualify for the remainder of the money that was legally set aside and legally already approved just aren't getting it. So continue to fight that, but there are a few people who are getting some of the politicians involved to try and push this thing through, because the way the law is written, every business was supposed to get up to $10,000. So this $1,000 amount that everybody received is kind of a reduced kind of just ad hoc adjustment to the program is not really authorized, and we expect to see a lot more information coming down the line on that one. But so that's still out there. So, but I guess the big thing that people have received, definitely a lot more have come in last week, is the link there on the SBA's website to increase their EIDL loan amount. So initially, those amounts were supposed to give every business about 6 months worth of operating expenses. That plan has been improved quite a bit, so now you're going to get 24 months of expenses, but there was a little bit of confusion as to how exactly you applied for that increase. Initially, they had everybody send an email request to request a link to SBA, and then SBA would send you via email a link to your portal where you could log in and request the increase. Now that they basically have the website posted up there, and you can, if you don't already have it and you need to request an increase, send me an email, info@huffconsulting.net, and I'll get it out to you. But so now it's a lot more streamlined and easy. So you click on this link, and it's going to take you back to your own portal. So hopefully you remember your password from last time, and once you log in, you'll be able to see there's a couple extra questions you have to answer, and some form and some submissions that need to be made as far as signatures and that sort of thing. But within the portal, they'll show you what the maximum amount of your increase can be. So I think most people just kind of going right up to the maximum, whatever it is, because the interest rate is still very favorable. So that hasn't changed. So it's still the 3.75% interest rate. Still a 30-year term, so anyone who can qualify is. I can't think of any reason not to go ahead and apply for this financing. With the interest rates being like that, and to be able to ensure that your business has the liquidity to operate and thrive at those rates, I can't think of any reason not to accept it. Particularly when the payments don't start for looks like they're going to have a 2-year term where there'll be some deferment of payments, so you got some time to think about it. And it turns out if you don't need the money, of course, you can always just pay it back before the payments start, and have a very, very small interest hit if you if you can't figure out a way to use that money. So those are the biggies. Employee retention credit, so that is still on in the works there. So you have plenty of time to go before you have to worry about missing any kind of expiration of deadlines. But we are seeing that it's very the money's come in very slow, and those forms, a lot of them have to be paper filed as opposed to electronically filed. So there's a processing lag that seems to be taking place there, and the money for that's coming in slow. But that's another very lucrative benefit there if you had employees. So that's the biggie. So you have to have had employees that you paid payroll via the regular payroll system with 941 tax deposits being made, and subject to all the usual payroll taxes. So if you have that, just about everybody's going to apply for the first version of it, and some people will apply for a second version if you have a decrease in revenue, as an actually even better better variation of the employee retention tax credit that's available that covers the current year that we're in 2021. So that's all for this week. As usual, follow us on Facebook, huffconsulting.net. We post things there on a pretty regular basis that are of use to small business. Email me, check the website. We're available if you need help. So with that, have a good weekend here, and we'll see you next week.